Good morning, Launch Lynchburg. I'm Abbey Marrin, the potential owner of 111 Main. I'm currently in Eleuthera, Bahamas, at a very small little camp called Camp Bahamas. I'm helping fix it up, and then throughout the week we'll be fixing up some homes that were damaged from the last hurricane and meeting with some local schools. And unfortunately, the Wi-Fi that I have and I am connected to, it just keeps loading and will not put the Zoom call through. So hopefully I can get this video to who it needs to get to in a timely manner. But for now, just gonna make do, and that's what we have. Pretty much 111 Main is a dream I've had for a while, and around Thanksgiving of 22 is when I really started to pursue the thought of like what this would look like. Because really the dream is to put it in Lynchburg. That is just like, I feel so connected here. I love living in Lynchburg, and so I was like, this is where I feel called to start this business. And so, as an avid concert goer myself, I have just gotten really sick of paying all these fees. And so I started looking into people like eTix and Eventbrite, and I have had some meetings with them just to see what the cost would be to partner with them. But it's just been really eye-opening to see how much money Ticketmaster takes from everyone. And then in regards to the venue itself, about 75% of venues in the US are owned by Live Nation, which is just insane. And so with the timing of their issues right now with the government, with the Launch Lynchburg program coming out, with concerts and live events finally picking up again after COVID, I was like, this is the time for me to do this, because if not now, when? And so when I saw that the program came out and I was reading through it, the money, of course, is a huge deal. But what really stood out to me was the mentorship and the business courses and parts of the prize package. And I am about to graduate this May, and so the help of these business courses with mentorship, like, that is all I could ask for. I've already kind of started a business plan, but I would really love to come alongside Lynchburg locals who've done it in Lynchburg. They know everything, excuse me, or they know at least where to point me, like what direction in. And so that really stood out to me. And then with the prize package, the Jamerson Lewis construction cost estimate services and plans, because I want to renovate such an old building, that was such a huge blessing in that prize package. And so that is why I'm requesting the full $115,000, because I do want to purchase 1112 Main Street, and most of that would go towards the building, down payment. About $3,000 to $4,000 I would say would go to business startup costs, but everything else that I would have would go towards the down payment, just because it's a quite expensive building. But all that to say, I am open to other buildings downtown, at least one that would mimic or kind of mirror the City Auditorium's look and size. The whole reason I picked downtown Lynchburg was because if you look at the venues in the local area, you have Bank of the James, which is explicitly for the Hellcats, and you have the Vine Center at Liberty, which is exclusive to Liberty use. And if they do external concerts, I think they've done about 1 or 2 a semester, and it's because of their connections they currently have, as well as some people that came from Liberty. I know they tried to have a band called Laney in the past, and they backed out last minute just due to them not agreeing with like the Liberty Way and things that Liberty tends to be associated with, which is totally understandable. And so my hope, though, is that with 111 Main, we can take advantage of the fact that we have 5 colleges, including Liberty, which is huge. And like I said earlier, as a concert goer, I went to a concert in Charlottesville this past summer, and the entire crowd, with the exception of a few adults, was Liberty students. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, if this was in Lynchburg, this entire venue could have been sold out, because college kids will go to pretty much anything if you promote it enough. And so I really that's where that vision really started to come to life. Was at that concert, and then I went to a concert in Raleigh a couple months ago where I was at the Ritz in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I just was like, this needs to be in Lynchburg. Like, this would do so well. And so that is a lot of word vomit, but that is where I'm at right now. I do have a few potential investors A little bit of my background, I actually transferred to Liberty after doing community college for 2 years and working at my family's company. It was a moving and storage company. And so through that, I have made tons of connections at UNC, Duke, NC State, the Carolina Hurricanes, some other transportation industries and beyond, as well as having a lot of entrepreneurs in my family. I just have so many people open to investing, and so this grant would be such a blessing to help me get that start. And then my background in production and events, I do have a couple of connections in the production world where I think they would really help me get the ball rolling on what the venue should look like, the things that I don't yet understand. But my experience with these seasoned professionals and entrepreneurs and people just wanting to invest in me, I'm like, this is just something I have to jump on. And so the funding of the grant, like I said earlier, would be mainly towards the down payment of the building. And my hope is to crowdfund the purchase of the building, just so people have like a chance to have a say in what it could look like, what it would be. It shows community interest. I actually helped my father do crowdfunding with his business a few years ago, right before COVID. And it was really great. So I have that going. And then with potential investors, they are willing to invest once I have a solid business plan. So that's why I'm really interested in the business course.